Alright, good evening, everybody. Sorry about that. I'm Vice Forecaster JD Rapp with you in the Breaking Weather Center. We do have, this winter storm to track, and it's continuing. So hold on just a second. We still got winter storm. We got winter testing. 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 We got this winter. We got the winter storm continuing. That's good. Alright, good evening, everybody. I'm Vice Forecaster JD Rapp with you. We got the winter storm, and this can still continue to part to St. Louis, Massachusetts up here, getting it down to Oklahoma. This is a big, powerful winter storm, and I got somebody says, "Hey JD, how do I join broadcast?" Well, on the phone, you just enter in the room and type your name and hit enter, and I'll invite you in when you get in here. Anna said, "I can hear you now." Somebody says, I'm glad everybody can hear me. We still got the wind chill advisories too. With you and the breaking wind. And these wind chill advisories can be bad. Dangerous wind chill advisories are still the biggest thing. And we're still watching these wind chill advisories and all that. And this is what's bring to go down here and check. And you can see the Weather Service has issued winter storm warnings and watches in parts of the Paducah area. And Ian said earlier there could be a few more, and parts of Cape Girardeau and up here towards parts of St. Louis is under advisories, where a couple inches of snowfall could fall. So definitely, you could end up with a lot of snow. And push the thumbs up if you still can hear me, guys. So we do have this winter storm continuing. So here's Here's some other things I'm going to go over here. Mounts is kind of hard, but we do have a risk for some severe storms tomorrow down in the deep south. There's even a slight risk for severe weather, and that covers. Let me change here. Here's our outlook for tomorrow from the Storm Prediction Center from Norman, Oklahoma. Of course, this shows you down south, like down there in Louisiana, part of Mississippi, at a 2 out of 5 for severe weather. Chance of a tornado percent. It's around 5% tomorrow. That means we can get a tornado in 25 miles of point. So that's still not normally good when you have to see that. When you see a tornado here in the Breaking Weather Center, we do have definitely that's still not really good when you have to see that really 5% for tornadoes a lot, because that is still bad if you had one of them. So we're continuing to watch those. Watch that one. So that's still 5% of a tornado. So definitely be careful on that one. Tomorrow we could see a tornado in 25 miles a point. So make sure you have your plan in action. So anyway, also we do have a damage and wind threat. That's the threat of some damage and winds tomorrow, up to like 50. That could be maybe 60 or 70. We will have to watch that. But there's a slight risk. Hail looks very low tomorrow, very low, about 5%. And also we have to repeat the same thing on Thursday. There's a second possibility from the SPC for severe weather that's going to continue. Probably that'll be a squall line that's going to push through, and that will just probably be a damaging straight line wind threat. So we would have to watch that as this large storm system will pass. So we'll be here on that. My main reason why we did an update, because we have several things going on tonight. Oklahoma's been with some potentially heavy snowfall, and we do have that chance of some icing too. Freezing rain is bad when we can get like sidewalks and stuff like that very slick. So that's one thing we really have to watch, is all that freezing rain. So on the 3rd of tomorrow, we will have a few other counties get added to the winter storm warnings, or maybe even a few other counties get added to that winter like I said, there's a few other counties could get put in advisory. I'm not sure if we can. Sure they will tomorrow, but we'll have to see. So that continues to keep updating on that. Then we look down in Louisiana real quick before I sign off here. Dangerous cold air. Even the Weather Prediction Center, the Storm Prediction Center, has even upgraded to a extreme threat for very cold air. Now, this just tells me when you have this extreme, that is very significant. Very significant when that actually happens, when you have very significant cold air. All right, we got Isaac Chalk on with me. Isaac, I'm glad you come on, because Austin could not hear me and all that, and my microphone wasn't really working right. So I'm going to have you talk for a little bit. Let me get you back.
Oh, okay. 1 second. We have some other folks that we're probably going to retrieve our stream source here. But yeah, I mean, we're definitely keeping a very close eye on this second another storm system over the high plains in Oklahoma. Definitely dynamics with this system appear to be somewhat similar. Obviously, we are lines out for sections of, again, parts of the south into much of the Midwest as well. Again, there's a potential for more significant, but we're concerned about, it's just this elongated
Then instead there could be more counties added. Then
Yeah,
instead
correct.
there could be some more warnings to be issued for that.
Yeah, there is that possibility because I haven't had the chance to see what the latest model, but I am pretty sure way things are looking here with this next round is, I mean, we're still we've had some we had some these runs. I mean, we're definitely looking at most areas in that winter storm warning area. I mean, we're looking at like south at this point into like parts of Oklahoma, parts of the plains. That's where we're definitely looking at some of the heavy totals. With this system, I believe. Uh, I mean, it just the it's gonna be, we're gonna see kind of a broader with this. So, so again, I'm not in front of a computer. I'm just using my phone to join. So I have very limited to see what the overall surface map and things are depicting, but we are looking at a similar type impact with this. But just talking about this system and just the elongated period of Arctic cold. So I mean, just one clipper system you get along that trough. I mean, you get something forming at the surface. It taps into more Gulf advection, like this system that we have here. Um,
Yeah, look at here, Isaac. Look at here.
Yeah, I was going to say, obviously, there's on the warm sector with that. I mean, there's obviously just right off the where we have enough of the surface for potential. Again, that's a corridor where we have some of the strongest low level shear. Just kind of like, or just kind of like last night into yesterday too. I will point out once again. And again, we got a little bit of forcing, a window for forcing there. And if we do, I do apologize. I didn't know you were here. Okay. All right. Again, if backing that, if that does tap into enough advection, or there's enough back on that, there's some discrete form within there. That is something we'll have to pay close attention to.
Yeah, and there is even a slight risk for severe weather also on Thursday, also too, with the squall line that could push in.
Well, right. I mean, this is the same. This is the same level trough that we'll tracking into section parts of the southeast as well, and definitely there's plenty of moisture returns that are readily available. We'll see how much convective forcing we get with that line. That'll be hazards we
Yeah.
get tomorrow.
Yeah, because tell me what counties could go under a winter weather advisory. What was in thinking? What kind of counties could go under? Will I go under one or what?
So yeah, I will point out that a lot of the counties. Let me turn on the light in here. There are plenty of areas just along the track of this. Just we're going to get a lot of moisture, and then a lot that filtrates on wraps around on the backside. So we're likely going to see some counties further the lower Ohio, the middle Mississippi Valley. That will probably get into some of the.
You think there'll be a winter storm warning for me or not?
Probably not, but maybe some of the counties along the valley points. I'm not. If they do expand the winter storm watch, it'll probably, just more consistent. Maybe towards the Great Lakes, and we're going to see how the trends go with this. I'm gonna. Oh yeah. So trying to see what data is coming, but I just got off of my new. Hold on, JD. What other news have I gotten?
What happened? What you say?
Never mind. Someone added the link here. Yeah, just the overall period of Arctic. With this, there's any kind of system that does form, like a clipper, we'll have enough. I mean, just the Arctic cold. The snow ratios and everything are fairly high, so that's going to definitely lead to high travel impacts. Same as the last.
I think it will too. Lead to high impacts also.
And there's a lot of different.
Carlos is talking about the electricity going out a lot too.
Yeah, in some cases, like you Texas, even in surrounding states too, there is that concern where, the gas lines and the demand for electricity. So there is that potential. Especially in areas where electricity demand is the highest. So we come to think of it. Still trying to catch up on the headlines that I did catch up on, but yeah, definitely.
Here's what the weather service. Here's what the weather service did earlier. Under colors here, but I do think they'll probably put a few more out, won't they?
Let me look into that.
There's that.
Let's just say, I think there's a potential that other areas will probably with the next package here, because we're looking at late tomorrow into Thursday. Some I think lower than they were the last round, but still, I think.
Sorry about that.
6-inch next round.
Anyway, I do think there'll be some winter storm warnings and probably some more advisories get issued again.
Yeah, no, I can't do the track with this system here.
So what counties are in here do you think will be added? Do you think?
Now, probably expect Hamilton, Jefferson, just areas further along the
In
Wabash
what
River
advisory or warning?
confluence. They'll probably see advisory criteria in the
Mm-hmm.
isolated 2 to 3 inch range, maybe a little bit higher. But
Will we need
we'll
speed on
definitely,
that or not?
because the dynamics with this system are not as impressive as this last round, as I pointed out.
Mm-hmm.
But there's the pavement temperatures and everything are low. So that's kind of what our biggest concern is. And just on the something to also watch out for as well, because you know
Yeah.
uh, you know there's many gas processing facilities and everything on the plains that do not have
All
power.
right, Ian.
And
All right, we got somebody else on here. Hi, Ian. Remember me?
Oh, yes, I do.
Yep. All right, now tell everybody what you've been seeing with the weather. We got Ian joining from. So, Ian, where you work at? The weather?
Where I work at,
Yeah, you work with the weather.
I do it on the side.
Okay. So, what have you been seeing in the guidance package lately?
I see that the trends are going lower with snow totals to the north,
Mm-hmm.
and that makes sense because the main upper air forcing is mainly to the south. So, I believe with the way the snow is going to be setting up, it'll probably be in the middle Mississippi, lower Mississippi, and up into the Tennessee Valley that sees the most heavy snow. And the thermal gradients will be high, so I suspect that the flakes will be very wet, and there
Okay.
could be some thunder snow mixed in
Okay.
as well.
Yeah, I won't roll thunder snow out, especially with this is kind of the instability is a little high, right?
Instability is not really a factor with this, but the upper trough really isn't as organized with this particular setup as the
Mm-hmm.
last setup.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not really a huge major storm, at least not for this part of the country. But I suspect once it gets out further east, it'll tap into those Atlantic coast waters, and that will
Mm-hmm.
really get it going.
Yeah, I can see it. And the severe weather is going to be a problem too, right?
Maybe.
All right, we
I
got
know there's
Calvin.
a slight risk.
Hi, Calvin. So, Calvin, what you been seeing in the forecast? What you been seeing?
Well, I only just got a chance to take a look at the winter weather. But I think that the highest snow totals stay mainly south of the lower Ohio Valley. So, in terms of southern Illinois, they have some advisories down there. I don't know if there'll be anything more than that.
No.
As this trends south inevitably.
Yeah, I think that severe weather is going to stay down in the deep south. I think.
Another thing to keep in mind is that they're really concerned that the instability may not be
Mm-hmm.
quite strong enough to get real big storms, but the upper air
Mm-hmm.
lifting dynamics and shear are quite favorable for rotating supercells. Just not
Yeah, I
really
seen
looking
that.
at the instability being high. So the lapse
Mm-hmm.
rates will be poor.
Well, like I said, I just see the tornado risk I just pulled up a few minutes ago.
Lapse rates will be poor.
Here's the risk of severe weather tomorrow. Wednesday down south. I don't know if anybody took a look at that yet, but I mean it could really get going. Here it is for tomorrow. Like this in a slight. You think they go to enhanced or just keep it in a slight? You think?
I doubt it. I doubt it will even be enhanced.
Yeah, there's the 5% there, and
It's a very low window for severe weather.
mm-hmm. And there's the damage and wind risk. It's about 15%.
That would probably be the primary threat with any storm tomorrow. There's a lot of wind energy, but just not enough low level instability to really drive that tornado threat.
Yeah, I mean, normally down in the
I
deep south, and normally do.
I think that the better severe risk is actually on Thursday across northern Florida and southern Georgia.
Yeah.
Much better
Mm-hmm.
instability for sure, but
Mm-hmm.
also it appears to be a more organized threat. So in terms of enhanced risks, I think if
Here's here's 1 kilometer.
I'm looking at
This
the.
is tomorrow. This is Thursdays.
Are you
This
looking
is
at
1
0 to 1
kilometer.
kilometer? Yeah.
Yes, that's the pink color. That's dangerous. That'll be up to almost 400.
Where's that picture in it at?
This is on the NOAA's National Weather Service here. Climate.
Okay.
And there's tomorrow.
Shape
You know,
looks like the trough. The way those dynamics are looking, it looks like the trough might become a little bit more negative tilt with time, so that might add a better environment for tornadoes.
so what you're
mm-hmm.
Better
looking there is
environment.
actually storm relative helicity, and so you have to take that into account. Typically, there's higher helicity numbers out ahead of storms, and so
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
it's important, but helicity doesn't matter if there's no rotating updrafts in general, which you do need instability. You do need high Cape values, essentially. Not,
Mm-hmm.
but you do need instability, buoyancy in general to get rotating updrafts or organized rotating updrafts. HRRR and NAM seem to have a slightly different take on the instability over the Gulf Coast region, whereas
Mm-hmm.
NAM seems to up the amount of instability just a little bit more than HRR. But what's important there is that you don't look at what the model is coloring for you. You look at the soundings and what those.
Mm-hmm.
So that's probably
Mm-hmm.
more important than the contours on the models.
Yeah, I do think this is the snow we got the other night was pretty bad. Did you get any?
I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
I got 4 inches of snow where I am.
I
got 6.
I got a bunch. I don't know that snow just blowed around. You don't know how much. It's hard measuring blowing snow.
I got stuck 3 times in my own parking lot at my apartment trying to.
That's why people just needs to be careful out there. Driving in this winter weather. Right now, these roads are still gonna be slick when it comes down. You think so?
Well, yeah.
This is why we're still, and it's gonna take a while to get the snow melting.
Probably won't take too long because it'll be warming back up next week.
Yeah, and are you a meteorologist?
What?
I'm asking, are you a meteorologist?
I just study the weather a lot.
Oh, I thought you could be I thought you were a meteorologist or something.
Kelvin, didn't you say you were going to school for that?
Yeah. So this fall, I'm going to school for meteorology.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
I
Well,
forget
I
where to though.
think I went right to end the stream. I think I think I covered everything.
I still have to make a decision between two schools.
Gotcha.
Well, I'm gonna sign off here because I think we covered everything.
Okay.